Right now, Jimmie Johnson has a lead over Matt Kenseth. Let's show you exactly how he went about getting it today at the Texas Motor Speedway. Now, Carl Edwards had his second pole position of the season. He jumped out front, but the 48 came up in a hurry.
Yeah, at this point, we're thinking, okay, the 99 is on the pole of Carl Edwards, but looky, I mean, he doesn't let the 99 lead at all, and in the lead right away, Cal Petty.
Yeah, a foreshadowing of things to come all day long.
Here comes Matt Kenseth. He wanted to get his way up front and at least challenge with Jimmy.
And Matt started sixth, and he worked his way up to second. These guys asserted themselves early in the race to be the two best cars.
And now the 18 car, driven by Kyle Busch, finds the wall.
Yesterday, Goodyear tweeted, we have high tire wear because the track is getting old. At this point, all crew chiefs are going, uh-oh, is this what it's going to be like today? He comes back to finish in the 13th spot, but a tough day with tire problems.
At this point in the chase, everything is magnified, and this was a slow pit stop for Matt Kenseth.
Slow pit stop. Came down pit road second, and he was the only guy that lost positions. I think he lost 4 positions back to 6th, and that's a major aggravation for a driver having to pass the same cars over.
This was the story in the early part of the race. Carl Edwards would take the lead on the restart, but then the 48 and Jimmie Johnson took it back.
After exchanging leads on pit road, Jimmie Johnson simply passes him, and at this point in the race, everybody's saying, okay, looks like he's going to dominate.
Kyle, things can change in a hurry. Last week's winner in the wall.
Coming off of the momentum they had from last week, Jeff said he felt the tire go a little bit slack going down the first corner, but he couldn't get woe down, flat left front.
In the wall. Behind you coming hard. Hold your brake. Caution's out. More coming. Try the left front, guys.
And that was really the end of any hopes for Jeff Gordon. There you see what happened to that tire, and that put them way back. They stayed in the garage for quite some time, but eventually would come back out. Ended up finishing in the 38th position. Brad Keselowski, with a little bit of pit strategy, takes the lead.
Takes the lead, but not for long. And you know, this was good for those guys. They had gotten up to 5th or 6th, really couldn't make any progress. I think Paul made a great call to get Brad in position to lead the race and possibly win the race.
But tonight's race was all about the 48. You knew it time after time. In the past, the 48 was slow on restarts and all the other tracks. They fixed that this race.
Now, Kyle, we have seen championship chases come down to a matter of a couple points, and here Matt Kenseth gets a very important one.
Yeah, 1.1 lap. That's all Matt needed at this point. At this point in time, Jimmy had dominated so much.
At this point, you're thinking, no. And he makes a good decision. Matt Kenseth decides to back out. Check this view out. He's going to split him 3 wide. Thinks the 40 or the 55 is going to stay down. Has to let out of the gas. Once again, a championship move, knowing when to not go 3 wide.
Let's flash back to 1 week ago on the short track at Martinsville, Virginia, when Greg Biffle was not happy at all with the way championship leader Jimmie Johnson raced him on the track. Tore the back bumper off of the number 16 car, and then Biffle tried to tear the back bumper off of Jimmie Johnson after the post-race. And now let's see, was this payback today? It certainly looked like it. Greg Biffle was angry then, and here he comes up on the 48. And even something like this, KP, couldn't do anything to stop Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, and you know, I think Biff was just on better tires. Run up behind Jimmy, just gave him that tap to say, look, I forgot last week. And then he was gone.
Matt Kenseth is an incredibly patient race car driver. Came down to make a normal pit stop, and he gets a pass-through penalty. He was speeding on pit road.
So trouble for Matt Kenseth, that put him some 15 positions back, but even more trouble for our pole sitter, Carl Edwards.
Yeah, I think he had valve train issues. I think when we heard the interview, that's what it was. And that, you know, that's kind of sad for Carl and those guys because they had a good car today.
And once again, Goodyear came out yesterday, said we are going to have tire issues today. It's going to be all about tire strategy, and Juan Pablo Montoya brings out a caution with another blown tire.
And if you ever thought you could get to the number 48 team, they showed us just exactly why they're still so loose.
Yeah, the wind is definitely picking up. Like I said, it's going to be kind of in your door as you're coming off of turn 4. Get confused. I'm not sure which door you're talking about. Which door would be yours in the race car? I've got 2 of them, one on the left, one on the right. You are killing me. Your left side door, buddy. Your left side door. 10-4.
You gotta love them messing with each other
Yes,
in the
you do.
heat of battle, but here Jeff Gordon returns to the track after a full 2 hours in the garage.
Yeah, and people say, why did he go back out there? A point is a point is a point. If these guys fall out, he picks up a couple of positions. He ends up 38. It's not much, but it's something to salvage.
Restarts have been an issue for Jimmy Johnson so far this season. Didn't happen that time.
Yeah, and if you're going to see how strong you are in restarts, you want to line up against the best, and that's Kyle Busch. You want the best, you got the best, and he takes the lead and once again proves he's the fastest car of the night.
Green flag pit stops rather, and you know how important these are, especially getting later on in the race.
Yeah, but at this point in time, all these guys have to do is knock out a solid green flag stop and maintain their position for the 48. The 20 needed to pick up at this time.
And if you want to see how big the lead the 48 has, look at this gap. There's the 20. There's the 48, almost a half a track. So tonight was the 48's night.
And again, perhaps it's an understatement to say total domination for the number 48 and driver Jimmy Johnson. Third career win at Texas. The fireworks are going off, and now he has a fairly decent point lead over Matt Kenseth, but those two drivers have definitely pulled away from the competition with 2 races to go in this season. Here are the results. You see 8 of the top 10 drivers are chase contenders, and another great run for Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kenny.
But I would say the biggest victor here is Denny Hamlin. He said, my back is feeling better. I'm starting to feel the car, Kyle Petty.